They'll tell you California was always a free state. But let's be real, freedom on paper is not the same as freedom in practice. And if you want to understand that, you need to know this woman. Meet Biddy Mason, born into slavery in Georgia around 1818. Not just laboring in fields, trained as a midwife and nurse. She was valuable to her enslavers because she could deliver babies, heal wounds, and save lives. But no matter her skill, she was still property. When her enslaver Robert Smith decided to move west, he didn't ask. He forced her and her children to walk behind his wagon caravan, hundreds of miles on foot from Mississippi to Utah territory, still enslaved, still owned, still no freedom. Then he brought them to California. And here's the lie we tell about this state, that it was free, that slavery didn't exist in California. But in truth, enslavers kept bringing people in knowing that the law would never be enforced against them. They hid people, threatened them, and held on to them anyway. Smith planned to move Biddy and her kids to Texas next, because there, slavery was fully legal. If he succeeded, they'd be trapped forever, generations lost. That was the plan. But Biddy Mason wasn't passive. She reached out to free Black residents in Los Angeles. She talked to abolitionists. They helped her file a habeas corpus petition. That meant that she'd go to court and demand her freedom under California law. A Black woman in 1856, using a legal system that was never meant for her. Smith fought it, of course. He tried to hide the family, planned to kidnap them before the hearing. But the community watched him. They stopped him, forced the case into court, and the judge ruled what the law already said. California was a free state. No person could be held as property. Biddy Mason and her children were free. Not because the system wanted it, but because she fought for it. Because she refused to let her children's futures be stolen. But this woman didn't just survive. She built. She stayed in Los Angeles, worked as a nurse and a midwife for decades. And she saved every dollar, bought land in what's now downtown LA. She became one of the first Black women to own property in that city. And not just any property, prime land that made her wealthy over time. But she didn't hoard it. She housed the poor, cared for the sick for free, donated land for schools and churches, founded the first African Methodist Episcopal Church of Los Angeles, built the foundations of Black community life in a city that tried to erase Black presence. So yeah, meet Biddy Mason. A woman who was born into slavery didn't just take freedom when it was handed to her. She demanded it. She held the law to its own word. And then she turned that freedom into something lasting for others. That's not just survival, that's resistance. That's legacy. That's her. Say her name. Biddy Mason.